Alright, hi everybody, it's falcon 922. This is gonna be another chapter review. Kenichi. The the Danganronpa final episode review, that's gonna happen later tonight. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. It looks like it's gonna be that compassed with final episode of Attack on Titan. That's gonna be crazy. Then I got a lot of shit to do. I really mean it. It's a lot. Cause I got that, got Danganronpa, Attack on Titan, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter. Not to mention, I got a few anime series reviews to do. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can nail them off before Monday approaches. But we'll see. So yeah, let's get into this Kenichi review chapter. This was pretty interesting. Chapter 540. This one was called The Emptiness of the Power. Now, the thing about this chapter that I found very interesting, the ending was a very, 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 like, whoa. Probably going to give this a 4 out of 5. Because even though the ending was surprising, really not a lot of stuff happened in this chapter. It was just pretty much this conversation that Akisame has with Saiga for Rinji. Then after that, we never found it, and that's another reason I'm giving this 4 out of 5. We never really found out of what this plan was. The sun setting plan. We never found out what it was, what the whole meaning behind it was. You know, their thing was a diversion, but it wasn't really emphasized what the plan was. So, you know, he never explained it, Saiga. But what was good about the chapter was obviously the ending and what is leading up to what is seeming to be a very interesting sort of events. Now, the beginning part, like I said, this is really just they're all gathering, and we see that the Prime Minister is talking to Shida-kun, his advisor, and he says the members of the darkness from all over the world came out for the time when fighters will be judged correctly and masters will be the center of the world. There, no, our power, political, I think he means power increases with the help of the darkness. And now, it's like a country without a shape. And he says, Ishida, you bastard. And it says, be careful, Prime Minister. So apparently, he was behind it, I guess. So I think this is part of the Setting Sun plan. It's part of it. Not completely, but it's a part of it, so to speak. Because that's the only thing we get in this chapter. Besides that, nothing is really brought out with this. But he says that, and the Prime Minister's upset with him, and then Saki's saying, wait, Appa, because he was going to go after him. And then we see Saiga telling them, you know, can you stay in here idly by? There are 7 members of the Ha Choi executioner blade on that ship. And then Appa was telling Saki we need to go save Segure. And Boss saying, oh, it's frustrating, but we must meet. We're completely toyed with this, but this time, Sonpaku lost. Let's go, everyone, to save Segure. Then there's this conversation between Akisame and Saiga. And this kind of brings up a point with him. Akisame brings up the point of when Saiga went to Tydad during the Tydad arc, which brings up another point about what he sees, that he is kind of Saiga's putting his faith in Kenichi. Because basically what he's saying, Kakisame, is like, don't you think we will make it in time, do you? There's a high chance your daughter's on that ship. And he's saying to Akisame, I should deal with my relatives alone. That doesn't sound like the words of someone who sent Tai Dad. The man I knew would run to protect his daughter right away. Though, now I'm sure the man you allowed to use your hand coverings is protecting her, risking his life. And he says, yeah. So that yeah is like kind of like saying, I trust Kenichi with my daughter's safety. In a way. In a way. Now, after that whole situation, we go straight into the ship, and we got freaking Shigure dodging arrows from that girl, the woman, master woman with the bow and arrow. And she's like saying all Katsujinkins are the same. And she actually, Shigure shoots, she grabs this woman's arrow, bow and arrow, and shoots her own arrow at her, which was pretty ridiculous, and takes her out kind of, and saying, oh, you're trying to hit me with my own bow and arrow, stupid weapon girl. And Michael keeps informing her, are you forgetting the hostages, Kosaka, and the one with the arrows saying, stop, Murai, don't ruin other people's matches. And this brings up another point. Michael telling her, she's just provoking you. Kenichi is contemplating trying to help. Now, I know a lot of people, this one guy saying in my other video I did with Toriko thing, saying that, Kenichi is a wuss and he's useless. And that is true. I mean, Kenichi, he's nowhere near master level. He's like, come on. He is far from it. And he's your typical shonen character. I mean, that's pretty much it. And he pretty much is trying to find a way to help. But what can I do against a master? And saying that he has spent time with a large number of masters, and I know perfectly well, and I don't stand a chance against them, but I sure know their peculiarities. And he says one must strike the empty space within their overwhelming power. And then he tells Miu, when you get a chance, jump into the sea. And he says, I can hear you, Michael says. And that's when she does these stances. He says, yo, 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 these weird stances of dancing and shit. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's dancing, and he says, no, Miu, run! And then saying that they momentarily freeze the masters and so on and so forth in large space. Secret only I know. And then that other guy with the sunglasses is saying, oh, it's okay to let them run away. Is it okay to let them run away, Mihai? He says, wait, bastards! And then they're running and running and running, and they see the sneeze close, and they're about to jump off. And then there was this knight guy with the knight in the armor shows up and jumps right in front of him. And it seems like they're in a rock and a hard place. And then this Michael guy's like saying, I think the time of the end of the hostages is over now. I'll kill you. Shigure says stop. Miu gets hit with... Miu doesn't get slashed. She gets hit with Michael's hilt of the scythe. Yeah, so it's not as bad as it seems. And after he does that, Kenichi's like, bastard! And he's like saying, I don't need hostages anymore. And Shigure's like, Kenichi, Miu. And just when it thinks like Kenichi's gonna die, out of nowhere, this guy shows up. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, holy shit, I know this guy. Sakaki's old partner, Christopher, the French guy, shows up. And I'm like, huh? I was like, whoa, where did this guy come from? Yo, where did he come from? Well, he shows up, he says Tros, and he's like, Kenichi's like, master or not. And then Michael's like, who are you? Who are you going against the darkness? And then this one guy saying, how rude, monsieur. We are from the darkness too. And it says on the bottom, Sakaki's past partner, Christopher Eclair, shows up. Why? It's like, I was like, what the? Why is he there? So, you know, he showed up at the end, going up against Michael and the other masters of the Executioner Blade. I don't know what this is about, though. It's very, very peculiar. Because I know for a fact they're not part of the weapons team. But they just showed up. It was very, very strange. But least to say, I was very surprised by these events at the end of this chapter. God knows what's going to happen now. I mean, this was a big surprise. I didn't expect this. So, 4 out of 5, like I said, it seems like this setting sun thing has to do with the training of people to become stronger in the darkness. Because the whole thing with setting sun, it becomes dark, you know. But I don't know why Christopher is here, though. He says, we are the darkness too, but that doesn't explain anything here. Is he here to save Kenichi, or what? It seems very, very, very obscured. But I suppose in a way, he's helping Sakaki, I guess. But it just seems so strange. But least to say, this was a good chapter. This was a very good chapter of Kenichi. 4 out of 5. I wonder, though, where we go from here. So, because Sakaki and the others are a long ways off from getting to where Miyu, Kenichi, and Shigure are. So, if this preludes to something else, hey, we'll see. But I actually think this is a good change of pace. Because now we got an extra character here that we haven't seen in like a long time ago. Remember, I actually got introduced to this character in the OVA. Yeah, the OVA. When Kenichi goes with Sakaki to, you know, and bumps into Christopher, which was a while back. So his appearance here is very, very abrupt and just came out of nowhere. So I definitely can see a few things happening here. One, Christopher helps Miyu and Kenichi off the boat and get out of there. Or two, he's with them. Because he says in his last page, he says, we are from the darkness too. You know, and then he's got this guy. This guy with a top hat and a pipe. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was crazy. Very Frenchy. Very French, these guys are. So, it should be interesting to see next week. And like I said, I see two opposites things happening. They're from the darkness too, but they're helping Kenichi and Miyu. So, it's kind of weird. But I can see two things happening. Like I said, he's there with Executioner, or this is just a ruse. They're actually there to help Miyu and Kenichi escape. So, that's probably the two options there. But, good chapter. Tell me what you guys think about this chapter. About Christopher Christopher Eclair, Monsieur. Now, appearance should be interesting to see and see how they fight this guy. It's going to be really good next week, I have a feeling. But yeah, that's the story. And like I said before, later tonight it's going to be the usual bag. I'm going to get to the Danganronpa episode review, final episode, Attack on Titan final episode, One Piece obviously I'll have to nail. And I think those will be the three. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then Hunter x Hunter, I'll leave for Sunday. And all the others. Because I got to do those anime series reviews as well. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. It's Bonkai 922. Christopher, man. Shit. He's going to fight? Damn, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be freaking awesome. He came in and he gave a kick right to that Michael guy. I think he almost broke his arm. But I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's the story, people. Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. Christopher Eclair. Bringing on the SmackDown. Yeah. See you.